Straight ahead on the Drift, we've got docking tips from Boat US that'll keep you in control at the helm. And a visit to a third-generation wheel maker using the same techniques his grandfather did all these years later. And we'll drift into Key West, Florida for a bit of fun and sun. And did you know about the new boating law that could cost you? Towboat US Captain Clint Allen is here to tell you all about it. All this and a whole lot more is right around the bend, this time on the Drift. Hello and welcome to The Drift. I'm your host, Sierra Goodwill. One of the many things we love about New England is its rich boat building history. On our Boat Build segment, our host, John Methia, will spend some time with and introduce us to the builders and artisans of New England boat building. Today, he visits South Shore Boat Works and gets a lesson in the art of crafting a ship's wheel.
Hey, Bob, Derek, the boys at South Shore Boat Works. How's it going, man?
Good, John.
Good to see you again.
Nice seeing you too.
We're cranking out wheels.
We are. We're. What I have here on the table is a cross section of how I actually build the wheels.
Wow.
And this is something that.
So you order all these parts. These come from Amazon, right? These little pieces, and you just put them together, or how does that work?
Well, only if Derek works for Amazon. Since
Derek, you work for Amazon over there, man? All right, so all of these pieces are custom made here in your shop, right?
Everything. When we build a steering wheel, and I've been building wheels since I'm a third generation wheel builder.
Right.
And so it starts with me actually doing the design work for the wheel.
Okay.
Which I take the customer's ideas and incorporate them into the design. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, I start making the tooling, making the jigs to actually build the wheel.
So each wheel is different?
Everyone is different.
I did not know that. Okay, so you can't come in and say, Bob, give me a 24-inch and you've got them in boxes ready to go. This is true custom design.
It is truly a custom design. That it's made for a specific boat, for a specific helm.
Okay.
And everybody has a different vision. They want different woods, different designs in the wheel itself. But this is the basic parts, which is the hub, and then there's the spokes.
This is just an alignment piece here. This isn't part of the wheel, or is this part of the wheel? This piece here.
This is the actual. This is the hub that becomes the hub for the wheel itself.
Okay, good.
But we start by turning the spokes, which Derek is doing on the lathe.
Okay.
And then once the spokes are turned, we fit them into the hub. The hubs are actually very tough to fit because the pockets are not always consistent.
Okay.
So we have to fit them. And then once the spokes are in place, you see the number of lines on the board. This is for to make sure that I'm on the right degrees. In this case, this is an 8-spoke hub, so it needs to have 45 degrees for each spoke.
Important.
It's important.
You want it to be round.
You want it to be round, and it also has, it has the look of being symmetric,
Sure.
Symmetry. There's no place you're going to put a wheel weight on this to balance your wheel.
Right.
This doesn't work that way. But and this is just the process. I've been teaching Derek for about 1.5 years now how to build steering wheels, and so we always start out the same way with turning the spokes, fitting them into the hubs. Then there's some variations from there, but this is just typical.
So tell me about this sort of old style look. Is this coming back, or has this always been around? It seems like more and more boats are getting back into this classic old, it looks like something that would have been on Gilligan's boat, the minnow, right?
Yeah.
Is that style coming back?
I don't think it's ever left.
Okay.
And I think there is a resurgence. And the reason why I say that is, today most boats can be steered with high-tech electronics,
yeah, sure.
Pods, joysticks.
Joysticks.
Yeah. But that doesn't give you the sensation of actually feeling the wheel or steering the boat.
Right.
And I think that for a lot of people using the boats, they want that feeling, or they remember growing up on, say, their father's or grandfather's boat.
Kind of steering this way, right? Holding the
definitely.
The wheel. Yeah.
And that's that sense of connection between you and the boat, whereas
Absolutely.
with electronics, you don't have that.
Yeah.
I've even had at one point, I built a wheel for a 251-foot mega yacht, powerboat. They got, the boat was built, and both the captains, there was an Australian and an American captain, they said, it looks funny without having a steering wheel on it here.
Yeah.
So we had to take this mega yacht, figure out how to put a steering system into it with a conventional wheel.
Wow.
And I was lucky enough to do the installation because the boat was built in Connecticut. And I look at it, it's like, this beautiful woodworking all over this boat, but it would have looked pretty funny without having a wheel to steer it.
So all this beautiful woodwork in the boat, electronics, state-of-the-art electronics, and this gorgeous, what did it have? Like just a black metal reel in it?
It didn't have any wheel.
Any wheel, just a joystick.
Joysticks, yes.
So you came in and they worked on the steering system, and now they've got a nice wooden wheel.
Yes, yeah.
A classic wooden wheel. Congrats, nice work, love it.
That is simply amazing, and as always, you can find more boat builds on DriftSociably.com and at DriftSociably on social media. Straight ahead on the Drift, it's the Boat US pros at the helm with helpful hints for stress-free docking. And we drift into Key West where the party never ends, plus a little wild and wacky on the water, all that and more right here on the Drift.
Boat US has been looking after the interests of recreational boaters for over 55 years. Our goal? To make boating better, safer, and worry-free. From coast to coast and over 600 towboats strong, the Towboat US fleet is the nation's largest. So when you need help on the water, you're not alone. For a day of worry-free boating, take us with you by downloading the Boat US app to get a tow or check weather and tides. Better boating starts here. Join today.
Dare to smile and laugh out loud, to go to the beach instead of the office, to wear sneakers instead of heels, or heels instead of sneakers, to wear white after Labor Day and sunglasses at night. Dare to say no or yes, to take a long bath or a short walk, to have dessert for dinner or to grill in the snow. Dare to have fun, and most of all, dare to be happy. Goslings Rum, happy since 1806.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
At the Helm is brought to you by Boat US. Better boating starts here.
Coming alongside a dock in a twin-engine boat is always fun and easy, right? Well, not always. This time on At the Helm with Boat US, 3 easy steps to a stress-free twin-engine docking.
Hey folks, Lenny Rudo here for Boat US Magazine. You know, at Boat US, we are boaters, so we understand that docking your boat can be the most stressful part of the day. That's why we do have a video on our channel of how to dock a single-engine powerboat. But today, I'm on a twin-engine powerboat, and I need to get it from right here to up against that fuel dock. How's it gonna happen? Don't worry, it's actually really easy as long as you know these 3 simple steps. Step number 1, look at an indication of the wind and the current. Say a flag for the wind and something in the water, see how it's moving so that you know ahead of time how that current is going to affect your boat as you bring it up to the dock. Step number 2 is to approach the dock slowly. It's amazing how often folks come in hot and then something happens, like say an engine stalls out and they end up smacking a piling. Now as you approach the dock, you want to do it at as shallow an angle as possible just to make it as easy on yourself as possible. And to turn the boat, leave the wheel centered. Remember, this is twins now. If I shift my starboard throttle into reverse and then I shift my port throttle into forward, the bow of the boat will swing around to the starboard. If I'm coming in from the opposite direction, I just do it the opposite. And of course, I'm going to come in from the direction that allows me to keep the boat headed into the wind. This gives me the most control over the boat. As I come up close to the pier, I'll just give it another little shot of reverse to slow her down, and boom, I'm ready to grab my lines and tie the boat up. One thing I want to be sure to point out, as you're coming in, if you fend off, whatever you do, make sure no body parts get in between your boat and the piling. That's how people get hurt. Holy cow, did you see that fuel bill? I'm not sure I should have stopped in the first place. Seriously though, folks, just remember those 3 simple steps. Check for the wind and the current, approach slowly, and then use your throttles, not your wheel, to turn the boat sideways to the pier, and you'll be just fine.
Thanks, Lenny. Maybe, just maybe, this advice will help make docking more fun. For more At the Helm with Boat US tips and tricks, visit boatus.com, because better boating starts with Boat US. Now it's time for my favorite segment, Drift Into. From the color of Key West to the quaint of Nantucket, the crazy of Lake Havasu to the quaint of Newport, we drift into these ports of call and, of course, take you with us. Today, we tie up at Key West. Key West and make your first stop Duval Street, the epicenter of Key West's famous party atmosphere. It's a place that our drifters just won't miss. No shoes, no shirt, no problems at this place. It's a mile-long stretch with entertainment end to end, drawing millions of visitors from around the world who are looking to experience the legendary laid-back lifestyle of the Conch Republic. Grab a souvenir, a bite to eat, or a creative concoction, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and Duval Street in Key West is the place to be. And then, after an amazing and legendary sunset, the Key West color shines. Key West, Florida, one of our favorite drift into destinations. Key West never disappoints. Always a party, you can count on that. There's more from Key West and other drift into destinations at driftsociably.com and at driftsociably on social media. So like, follow, share, subscribe, and drift sociably with us. Straight ahead on The Drift, this group is doing amazing work combining surfing, therapy, and gnomes. And what about the new engine cutoff law? Towboat US Captain Clint Allen answers all the questions right here on The Drift.
Boat US has been looking after the interests of recreational boaters for over 55 years. Our goal? To make boating better, safer, and worry-free. From coast to coast and over 600 towboats strong, the Towboat US fleet is the nation's largest. So when you need help on the water, you're not alone. For a day of worry-free boating, take us with you by downloading the Boat US app to get a tow or check weather and tides. Better boating starts here. Join today.
The thought of mixing my award-winning Black Seal rum with any old ginger beer drove me to this. Goslings Stormy Ginger Beer. Perfectly made to make the perfect dark and stormy.
In the heart of New England is the country's finest four-season sporting club and residential community, the Preserve Club and Residences, a 3,500-acre backyard the whole family can enjoy for generations. Sporting clays, golf, spa, hunting, and more. Adventure, exclusivity, serenity. The Preserve Club and Residences, the adventure you always wanted, the luxury you've earned. Now offering stay and play packages. Call now to reserve your stay today.
There's actually a way to improve on Gosling's slowly aged Black Seal rum. Added to Goslings finely spiced ginger beer. Result? The trademark dark and stormy.
The Drift is brought to you by Boat US. Better boating starts here.
We all know the people and organizations who selflessly give back. We thank them and are honored to share their stories. Today I'm sitting down with founder of Gnome Surf. They're doing amazing work as they help children of different abilities through surf therapy. So you're a nonprofit organization using surf therapy to connect to kids of all abilities, right, including those on the autism spectrum, with Down syndrome, the LGBTQ youth. It's really an awesome organization. Can you tell us really what surf therapy is?
Sure. Surf therapy is a fairly new, innovative form of healthcare that addresses both the physical and mental health of our athletes, as well as the emotional well-being. And we do that by surfing with children, but it basically, the main concept behind it is we're really trying to improve happiness and self-confidence in our athletes that translates into their everyday life.
What got you into this field and want to help the youth using surfing?
I was undiagnosed with ADHD my entire life, and when I got in the water on a surfboard, everything slowed down. It seemed to calm everything down, and I utilized surfing as a tool to teach me how to overcome my everyday struggles. So I knew that this was a powerful form of therapy, and I knew I needed to deliver it to kids. So here we are today. I coined the term magic. Magic's what happens out there in the water, and you have to see it and feel it to really truly understand it. And it's just really powerful. We've conducted research on our athletes, and over 98% of them are feeling happier, and over 93% of them are feeling more self-confident. So there's some true magic going on out there in the water. In addition to surf therapy, we have art therapy. We also offer traditional mindfulness and wellness activities such as yoga, as well as ecotherapy experiences and arts and culture experiences that we try to create for our families as well.
That's awesome. I have to ask, where did the name Gnome Surf come from? Where are the gnomes involved?
So when I thought of this idea, I was out in Belgium, in Brugge. It's this, really magical town, a bunch of waterways. And I was in an antique shop, and I'm like, hey, what is the name of the school going to be? And then there was just this little gnome, like, thumbs up, staring at me, smiling. And I said, it's going to be Gnome Surf. And thank God, because there's been an explosion in popularity for gnomes over the last 3 years. So it actually helps our marketing. Yeah. So that's how the name was started, to be honest with you. It is a total life-altering experience for some of these kids and their families, because normally they can't partake in the baseball team or the soccer team. So we tried to build this community where they come, they're going to be accepted, and we meet them where they're at. And some parents come to me and are like, hey, they love the water, just let them float out there. And that's my cue right there to show them that magic. And before you know it, the kid's riding the waves. So it's pretty magical. But we're doing it, and the kids and families are getting what they need.
And you mentioned that you're trying to build a camp in Costa Rica. What is the next steps for Gnome Surf?
The next steps is the camp in Costa Rica is pretty much almost completed. It's two bedroom, 2-bathroom, minimalist luxury homes that open up, and it makes you feel like you're living inside the jungle in a beach town of Nosara, which is geared specifically for wellness. It's a yoga and surfing hotbed, and it's in a blue zone, which means it's one of 5 locations in the world where people are known to live longer, happier, and healthier. So we're building that so we can take our families from here and give them that wellness escape.
It's really awesome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time. It's very appreciated.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful summer. Maybe we can get you out on a surfboard. Who knows?
Hey,
that
I'm
can
not
make a great
opposed.
segment.
It could.
All
I'm
right.
not opposed.
All right, I'm gonna hold you. I'm
Awesome.
gonna hold you to it.
Awesome. Have a good one.
Okay, bye-bye.
The Drift Podcast is one of the industry's fastest growing. Our host, John Methia, sits down with those in the know of the boating industry, talking tech and tips, fun and sun. We call this segment From the Cast. It's always an informative slice from those podcasts. And today, John spends some time with Towboat US captain Clint Allen to talk about the new engine cutoff law.
Today we're going to talk about the new engine cutoff law. I guess we can call it the engine cutoff law, right?
Yeah, that'd be proper, right?
You know, we've talked plenty about sort of the circle of death things. We've done some segments on that. We've seen some videos on that, on boats doing the circle of death. And that's not a good thing when that happens.
Yeah, this is a really good law, and it's going to take a while for people to follow it, but it is absolutely a good law.
So do you think most people will follow the law, or is this something that they'll do the old, well, you know, why follow that? Let's see, who's going to enforce it, the whole deal?
I think it's going to take time, just like the seat belts when they first got implemented. And it's safety factor. Yeah. And I think eventually everybody will start using their lanyards. But so it's a real good safety factor. And people they fall out of the boat for whatever reason.
And if you're alone, and certainly on a smaller boat, that thing goes into what we call the circle of death, right?
Yeah.
That spin because the engine can't shut off. And typically it'll spin until it either runs out of fuel, or it'll spin until somebody like Towboat shows up, or somebody who knows what they are doing shows up and is able to actually get onto the boat and shut it down, right?
Right.
So where's the cutoff usually located, and how does it work?
So on a typical center console style boat, it's usually right where the key is, where the ignition key is. Just below it, it's typically red. And as I said, it has a little horseshoe clip. That has then a lanyard onto that horseshoe clip. And the lanyard, the purpose of it is to be hooked to your belt or to your wrist. And if you get thrown overboard, it dislodges that horseshoe clip and immediately shuts the engine down. So it's going to be a learning curve.
But you know, it's well worth learning.
Oh, absolutely. I'm 100% behind it. I think it's a great law.
All right, so Captain Clint Allen of Towboat US, always great having you aboard.
Thank you for the invitation.
And hook
your lanyards in, right?
Hook your lanyards in.
The Drift Podcast can be found at driftsociably.com or where all fine podcasts are heard.
Stay right there because it's getting wild and wacky next.
Boat US has been looking after the interests of recreational boaters for over 55 years. Our goal? To make boating better, safer, and worry-free. From coast to coast and over 600 towboats strong, the Towboat US fleet is the nation's largest. So when you need help on the water, you're not alone. For a day of worry-free boating, take us with you by downloading the Boat US app to get a tow or check weather and tides. Better boating starts here. Join today.
Consumers today are bombarded with millions of marketing messages every day. Outbound marketing like interpretive ads, direct mail, cold calling just don't work anymore. The reason? It's simple. Now there are all sorts of ways to block out the messages that you're trying to get through. And people are more in control of the information they receive. So yeah, the whole outbound marketing thing isn't doing the job anymore. Today, in order to attract potential customers, marketers need to provide them with something they enjoy. That's where inbound marketing and the sociable solution comes in. The sociable approach to marketing attracts individuals to your product by creating quality content that they enjoy and will convert them into lifelong customers. How do we do it? By developing unique programs, postings, video series, and content delivery across all your social media platforms. Let's start trending sociably.
Dare to smile and laugh out loud, to go to the beach instead of the office, to wear sneakers instead of heels, or heels instead of sneakers, to wear white after Labor Day and sunglasses at night. Dare to say no or yes, to take a long bath or a short walk, to have dessert for dinner, or to grill in the snow. Dare to have fun. And most of all, dare to be happy. Goslings Rum. Happy since 1806.
Hey Drifters, the Drift comes to you from our sociable DGI communication studios. Get the drift?
You know it, you love it, you can't live without it. It's time for Wild and Wacky on the Water. Whoops. Splash. Speed limit. Who needs a speed limit? Easy there, Captain. Parking brakes are a wonderful thing. Wild and wacky. This is crazy. Just nuts. Now that's going to leave a mark. Well, Drifters, that's it for this time. As always, thanks for joining us at the social place for boating, The Drift. For more content like this, like, follow, share, and subscribe to The Drift at Drift Sociably, or visit us at driftsociably.com. For all of us here at The Drift, I'm Sierra Goodwill. Drift Sociably, get the drift?
The Drift has been brought to you by Boat US. Better boating starts here. Join today.